Hi everybody, this is Linda with Scrap Stars Paper Crafting, and it is Sunday Paper Fun. I wasn't sure if I'd even be on because of electricity today and all the stuff that's going on with the snow, but I am here. I had a friend that asked me to show her how to do a cute little fun fold card. It's super simple, super easy. So Sheila, I hope you're watching because this is for you. Here is the base of the card, the front card front. And we're going to make the next one a little different, but then you fold it up like that. And you got your little sentiment and a pretty little stand-up card. Isn't that cute? Super, super easy. Sheila, I know you can do this. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to turn my camera around here really quick and get on my workspace. Maybe. Get tools to work here. Let's line us up here a little bit. There we go. All right. Okay, so you're going to just take, with this one I used a red card base, but you can use any card base that you want and use what you have. This one is a pink card base. It's kind of a hot pink. I forget what color it's called. But anyway, it's just an 8, just your normal card base, 8.5 by 5.5. And you're going to score it at 4 1/4. Now, the only part that you have to do is you can either score it or fold it. Now, it is an 1/8 because you scored this at 4 1/4, so you will want to score this at 2 1/8, which would be like there's all these little lines. There's this tiny little lines are 16ths, and then the double lines, 1 2 is the 1/8. So you can either do it that way. You can either score it at the 1/8 with your scoring tool, like that. Or if you don't like 1/8s, and lots of you guys don't, and that's okay, because all you have to do then is take this part and take your card and fold it in half. So you're going to take this part, you've got it folded here at 4 1/4, and then you're going to take your top part of your card and just simply fold it in half. So you don't even have to worry about those 8s. You can just fold it in half. So that's going to make your flip up like this. Now you could put paper on both sides. I'm only going to put paper on one side because I think it looks really pretty that way. And so the next thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of designer series paper that is 5 1/4 by 2. And we're going to just glue that right on the front of the card. Like I said, this is such a super easy, cute, oh, and isn't this pretty too? I am using Valentine stuff from last year from Stampin' Up. I did not buy the Valentine sweet stuff from this year because I had last year's stuff and I wanted to finish using up all of my stuff. So if you have hearts or Valentine paper, go ahead and use those. If you have the new paper, it will look really pretty with the new paper too. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this paper and line it up here on that fold in the center. Move it just slightly if I can. So then there's that part. Then I took let's see, Spotlight on Nature, those die cuts that I use constantly. This is what I'm using. I used one of the die cuts from Spotlight on Nature. Love those circles with those really pretty designs. I just use them all the time. I use them for cards. I use them for journaling on my layouts. I love this set. So, and it is still available. It's such a beautiful set. So then I've cut out a couple little hearts, but now I've seem to have lost one of my hearts. That's so typical of me. So let's move on to, really, Linda? Did you really do I guess I did. I lost one of my little hearts. It's probably on the floor. Oh, well, that's okay. We can do it without the one other heart. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this piece for the inside to put my sentiment on, and that is at 4 inches by 5 1/4. And get my glue going here a little bit. Can't believe I lost my little heart. I hope somebody finds my heart. Oh well. Okay, and my glue is, it is cold too. I might have to use some other adhesive, but here, we'll use the snail. Alrighty. So now I'm going to put this on the inside for my sentiment, and we'll put that right in the center again. So line it up really nice with the center if I can. There we go. And then what you want to do with a spare sheet of paper, I'm going to take this piece. I'm still looking for my little heart. I know it's here somewhere. It's probably on the floor. I probably knocked it on the floor. I'm finding snowflakes all over the floor from another project I did. So you're going to want to just take a piece of plain white cardstock, and you're going to cut it just a little less, just a tiny little bit less than 1/2 of an inch. And you'll see why in a minute. And then I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4. And the reason you need this little piece, you could use pop dots if you wanted to, but you really don't need to. You just need a little bit of something to hold this up on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this on just a piece of white cardstock. And since my glue gave out on me, I'm going to use my snail. Just things are flying. Okay, oops. And I want to put this piece on the side. So I'm just going to kind of go over the top of this just to give it. But if you don't want to do this extra step, you definitely can use some foam dots and just put a few foam dots along the edge, and that gives it a little bit of a pop up so it has something to grip onto. Let me show you on the card. But I didn't want it to, see, so it will sit like that. It has to have something to grip onto. And the designer paper is nice, but it's just not quite thick enough, so just like one piece of regular cardstock will do. So that's what I did, but like I said, you can go ahead and use pop dots if you want. Now I'm going to kind of like eyeball where I want it, and part of that is that I want to put my sentiment on it. So I want this line above the sentiment so that when it stands up, they can see the sentiment on it. So, and you can always sign and write a little message in here, and then it just sits up like that, and it says sending lots of love. So I want it probably, for my sentiment, it just depends on what sentiment you use. Just kind of line it up to where you think would be good. And you can just take whatever sentiment you have let's see if I have one on a black. Yep. So you could just take whatever you have, and you could even stamp it first if you wanted to, and then line it up. So why don't I do that? I did it backwards the last time. I did it afterwards. I just kind of lined it up with my eyeball. But we'll go ahead and just stamp it first. Try to get this out of the way. And I'm just stamping at the bottom, and I got, there we go. So then I'm going to just want to put this just a little bit above my sentiment. So maybe stamping is a better idea. There we go. So now that will sit. Let's burnish this a little bit more here. That will sit just like that. Isn't that cute? Okay, so now for the top, of course it never fails. I've already stamped Happy Valentine's Day with an, this stamp came from the bee stamp, which I still is available. Oh, here it is. It's that Be My Valentine stamp. It's so cute with all the cute little bees and stuff. And I'm going to be using that next week for a card to show you for Valentine's Day. But I just love that. I just thought that was so cute. And I use that Happy Valentine's Day, but it's got a lot of cute little sayings. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to lay this flat. And now you're just going to want to, well, let's decorate this first. I lost my gold heart. And so, ooh-hoo, still never found it. Isn't that funny when you have something and it just goes somewhere and you can't find it after it just falls someplace and you can't find it anywhere. Okay, well that's all right. I'll just put my cute little pink card on here and I'm going to use some pop dots for that. I thought I would find it by now. And it's so cute. And this is the die that came from last year also. If you have this die, it's a beautiful die. It came with the Hearts of Elegance. It was a bundle. If you don't, just use the new one. If you got the new one, use that one or whatever little heart. I'm sure you have some heart dies somewhere, or even a heart punch would look really nice. I did punch out two. I punched out a gold one and this really pretty one that matches this paper. Unfortunately, I've lost one and I can't find it right this second. So I'm just going to put the one on, and I have some jewels somewhere. Here's some jewels. And I'm just going to take some little gold sparkly jewels and add those. Let's get these out. Just some cute little sparkly jewels, and I'm going to use my lifter thing here. Love this thing, and just add a few little jewels to it. Let's do a bit. Oh my goodness, look at all that good stuff came out. I must have rolled it a little too much. It's like a little piece of, it's kind of like gum. It's like a little sticky gum, and what it does is it sticks to your jewel and it helps you pop it off. So I'm going to put a dot here, I think, and I'll put a little dot here, and then maybe another big dot down. I didn't get the big dot off. There we go. Let's see. And pick it up with my thing. Right, there we go. And put one right there. I think that looks really good. Okay, so now when I'm putting adhesive on, I just want to put adhesive on the lower half of the circle because I'm going to center it like right here, like that. So when they open the card, it'll look like this. So we'll just put a little bit of adhesive on the lower part. And then I'm going to just line it up where I want it so it's nicely centered. There we go. And then, so when they get the card, it'll look like this. And then when they open it, I'll have my message up here, but then they can set it up just like that. Okay. Thanks for joining me. Sorry I lost my stuff. But anyway, like I said, this is super easy. The hardest part is just scoring it at 2 1/8. But like I said, you don't have to score it at all. All you have to do is just take your piece of paper and fold it right in half to there, and then burnish it really well so it lays flat, and then you can pop this up like that. Love, love, love these cards. They're so, like I said, super easy to do, and yet so cute, and it looks so nice to set up for Valentine's Day. Well, thanks for joining me for this Paper Sunday, and stay warm. It is so, so cold out there. I cannot believe how cold it is. Bye-bye.